Hello!
Hi!
Hello.
Welcome to Transformerland. We are once again here in the bunker with our friend Treebot. We've got at least one more video in us for Treebot's visit to the Great White North up here.
Gotta exploit it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back to work.
Yeah.
More content.
Yeah, more content. More Transformerland sponsored content.
Be on the lookout. We have one coming out tonight or tomorrow, depending on when I decide to edit it.
Depending on when I feel like it.
Finish editing it.
But for the topic of this video, especially after Treebot got me good on the Armada Prime in our 10 Worst Optimus Primes video, we're just going full rage mode. We've got some hot takes here that hopefully will get a little bit of discussion going in the group. And maybe down in the comments, and maybe people coming up to us at shows, and maybe I can't step out my door without getting like a pie or rotten fruit thrown at me.
I was going to say, if we show up to a con and someone meets us in a parking garage, something like that. Well, we don't need that.
I mean, that one we walked through at Chicago, that would have been a perfect place for that.
Yeah, that's a Goodfellas looking spot to get shot in.
Ambushed.
Yeah.
Hey! You said some shit about Armada Prime. Anyway, would you like to start us out?
Yeah, I'll go for it. I mean, this is actually kind of lukewarm, but it's going to piss off some of the Bayverse stands. The second half of the designs in the movies, like from 4 and 5, are just terrible. I will just say that outright. They're awful.
Piss cold take.
It's a piss cold take, but I know some people are glazing those designs.
I'm going to add on to that.
Go for it.
And say the designs, like, right after Radif are terrible. Like, you got the Constructicons who look pretty good, but are mostly kind of jumbly messes. And then you got Megatron, who is a peak design, the Fallen, who is the worst thing ever. And then you just have Starscream again. But then, like, the Autobots, no one should ever defend Skids or Mudflap.
No.
Jolt looks cool. Sideswipe is peak. But then everybody else is basically the exact same. Right after that, you get into Dotum, which is just a dude in spandex. Like Dino.
Well,
Dino, at least you start in Dotum.
Sure, but it still
starts in Dotum. It gets way worse in TF4.
Like, my criteria is the dreads from Dotum. They're just the worst shit.
The dreads are fine, but they're not fine at the same time.
No.
The clones, the clone army that shows up, I don't care enough.
It's just a whatever.
It's just whatever. They're cannon fodder.
So wait, did you have a hot take part of this?
I don't know.
That's why I started us off.
That's why we're working our way up to the oven temperature.
Yeah, we're on a preheat setting.
Yeah. Okay.
We're preheating
we're preheating by just dunking on the movie designs.
Yeah. That's at least the latter movie designs.
Yeah.
The
obviously 4 and 5 design wise are
bad.
Terrible.
Bad.
Here's a hot take.
And we're Bayverse fans.
Except for High Octane Beat. That's peak.
That's good, peak. But again, he's mostly just like... I actually have a whole thing about this. When he's in that whole scene, like in the canyon, he has the doors and wheels from the previous CGI render.
But when he gets to KSI...
And the headlights.
Yeah.
But then he turns into his new alt mode. Yeah, so even his high octane mode, they half-assed it.
But he gets to KSI and it's right. It still has the right wheels. It has the offset black wheels. It has the right doors, but it's not...
So they switched his backpack halfway through the film?
Yeah, it's an error. It's basically an error in the desert.
How do you have 2 different renders?
Nobody knows.
How do you have that many renders?
Well,
whatever. I don't work for ILM, so... Yeah.
I will say this is a take that would probably incense people who are more inclined toward the G1 universes. One of the things where, of course, there's the hardcore G1ers that will never accept movie designs, period. There's people who don't like how greebly they are. One of the things I will say about Movie 07 and Radif specifically is especially the Decepticons look like aliens. They do not conform to human body standards. And I think that is more interesting.
That was my second one.
In that it sets them apart from the Autobots in a way where the Autobots they're supposed to be more morally familiar, and they're also more visually familiar.
Yeah.
And so when they go to Age of Excretion and the whole like guy in spandex suit theme, then they just all look the same.
Yeah, and that was my other take. It was like the movies convey an alien race better than G1.
Yes, G1 is like they're people, but Optimus Prime doesn't know what basketball is.
Yeah, and it's
he's really good at it.
It's
though.
robots that have car parts on Cybertron.
Yeah,
which they could have easily changed that with like just changed a couple more pieces.
That's how we got Origin Jazz, where
which
he has
is
the
silly.
Porsche front.
It's so silly.
Yeah,
But like you go to like something like War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron, where they're actually Cybertronian and have, or in a good example would be Animated, where it's themselves where they are on Earth, but they're more round.
Yeah.
Instead of so like or so squared off from the vehicles they transform into, they're way more round on Cybertron. And I do like that.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
Same for like Shatter and Dropkick and Bumblebee. You can tell.
They're very round.
Yeah, you can tell a difference when they first get to Earth.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah. Yeah, that's my first two takes. I agree with you on the second one. I know that sets a lot of people off when they're like, "Oh, they're monsters." No, they're not necessarily monsters. Like if you look at the designs a little bit more, you start to appreciate them. Now, when we get to Dottom, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other can of worms. We're not going to talk about the comics today.
Yeah, true.
But
you can go.
Yeah, you go.
You go right ahead.
Do you want to turn up the heat first?
No, you go right ahead.
Mine is. So my hot take rage bait is of G1 toys.
Mm-hmm.
No S tier figures were Japanese exclusives.
Yes.
None of the Japanese exclusives are that like incredible as toys to where I think they'd be like well remembered and beloved if they were not so rare.
I don't disagree with you.
Not even G1 Lio Kaiser.
Lio Kaiser is most G1 combiners are kind of mid, and Lio Kaiser, despite being very interesting because he's not Scramble City, he transforms very differently.
Dedicated.
Still kind of mid. They made the figures bigger, and yet they still look as like if you look at Kill Bison in robot mode, he's no better designed than Brawl.
Yeah,
he's
than
just
Scramble
bigger.
City. He's just another Scramble City.
Yeah, it's just another simple like slide the legs out, flip the arms forward.
The most they have going for him is the Breastmaster thing.
Yeah,
where it's like, and even that is janky.
Was that the one you said you were gonna like piss me off with?
Yeah, I was hoping to get you because I know you're a pretty big fan of Overlord lately, and I'm like, Overlord is he's better than Omega, but he's not as good as like Metroplex as far as base spots go.
And really the base mode is not my favorite. I'm never a fan of base
as far
modes
as that
with
size class.
Yeah, and I as much as I like it, I think it's honestly out of the Japanese like the heavy hitters with the price points. I think you get your money's worth more with him
because he's not as expensive as like Black Shadow and Blue Bacchus.
Yeah,
and
that said,
and Guard
those
City.
ones are very, I think, overpriced. So I don't disagree with you on that.
It's true.
I think because I had to do a little. I took stock of my vision of Japanese G1 for a while, and I was like, are these as cool? Like, does the cool factor fetch the price? No. It's just like when you look at Black Zarak, it's just a gilded version of Scorponok.
True, it's just a repaint with a new
different
new head and a
it's pretty,
but
it doesn't mean it's better.
A new head, mind you, that negates the Headmaster gimmick, which was already weak on Scorponok because he's like in that weird, awkward. His head is the size of the regular Headmasters, unlike Fort Max, where they're like, no, he's so big we gave him a head on top of his head.
And that's an example of where the Earthrise, Scorponok, and Black Zarak improve on the original figure.
Oh,
vastly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's like I said, it's prettier, and Black Zarak looks great in Gen X, but like the original is pretty, but it doesn't mean it's better. And in fact, it's really not.
Well, and never mind the quality issues of plastic.
Right.
But like, again, getting back to some of the ones where there's sort of like this cult following where they get references from time to time in like modern chug lines. Tell me that you'd never pay $2,000 for a Pretender and then start collecting Japanese exclusives. And it's like, oh, you just paid $2,000 to $3,000 for a Pretender.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a repaint.
I do gotta ask though, because you're a train fucker. You're really gonna sit there and say that with Raiden standing over there? You are even yourself are like, no, he's not even that good.
Raiden is not S tier.
Okay.
No, he's still cool and he's good, but he's not.
Oh, trust me, I love Raiden, but
Raiden
this is for me
I'm
that
just
owns
saying,
one almost.
I just had to ask the question.
Raiden is the equivalent of Devastator.
Yeah.
He's iconic. He's very unique among combiners.
Yeah.
He turns into trains, which
Yes.
obviously.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's a little bit parts heavy. Maybe not as bad as Devastator because you can at least slot the 6 trains together. You don't technically need the orange shoe thing behind his chest plate. You can just
a
peg
bit
it
more
on.
secure than Devastator, right?
Except they also nerfed him. Let's not forget the Seizon and Suiken train like front sections were supposed to have the same missile launcher tail that the Devastator fists have, and so they nerfed it. And you can see on the mold, like as you're coming out of the pegs coming out of the train, it actually kind of goes because they had to make it 5 millimeters wide, and it was only like 4.5 millimeters wide. And that means that there's very loose fitment on those fists.
Oh yeah, that's the caveat with my current collecting of the individuals. They're very, very loose on the train cabs.
Yeah,
like Suiken and Suiken I hope is more tight, but Seizon I've had him for over a year. He's just very loose.
Yep.
Which I'm sure I could probably fix it, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's one of those things
anyway.
where you couldn't do it with like a urethane joint fluid. You'd have to almost go to like putting super glue inside the rim of the train. And who wants to do that to a Japanese exclusive G1 toy and take that risk? No, I knew you were going to bring up Raiden and try and Uno reverse card.
Try and rage bait you.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, it's a fun figure. It's a unique figure. But it's not a good figure because ultimately, even among favorite, I just said earlier, G1 combiners are none of them are as well developed as we got in later years.
Yeah.
And among those, I'd say Computron, because the figures again are very unique. The colors kind of coordinate. He looks, in my opinion, the coolest in combined mode.
Yeah,
it's kind of a better toy overall. The other thing is Raiden. I remember the first time I got to see one doing this work is really small.
Yeah, he's
really
little.
And he feels small because the trains, all that mass is linear because they're trains. It's not like Devastator where you got like a big wide dump truck and a kind of a long extension off of like Hook and Scavenger where they kind of feel like they take up some space. They're about the same size. I'm sure they were the same price point when they came out in Diaclone. But yeah, I was thinking about this take. I'm like, is somebody going to spring one on me that I'm like, oh shit, that's right. That is one of the best G1 figures and it only came out in Japan. Yeah. And I'm like, not really. No. Like there's some A tiers, like Deathsaurus I'd give an A tier.
All the big guys I think are A tier.
I mean,
except for
Power Master Optimus Prime.
I mean, you wouldn't probably. I would compromise with you and put in B.
D tier at best. When we were talking about like doing multiple hot takes, one of mine was going to be about God Bomber was an afterthought.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
I don't even think he was designed before they had finished Super Jinrai. Yeah, I think it was totally like we should
do something else.
As much as I enjoy that figure, I like it. I still say in the video, in my review, that it's an afterthought to Jinrai. Like I'm very specific on that. Without Jinrai, it feels like you've bought a controller for a video game console with nothing for it to do.
So it's the Wii Motion Plus of Transformers.
Yeah, it's just there. It's on its own. It is a hollow camper van. It's your uncle's van he pimped out, and it's nothing on its own. And I don't know why they released it on its own outside of, oh, you probably already have a Jinrai, here's a God Bond.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's all I could think of.
I will say there are Japanese figures that I do think are really fun.
Yeah.
Like last night we were playing with my reissue Landcross, who he does a lot of stuff, but boy, is every mode look dumpy.
Yeah, it's a little jank, but it's fun.
Yeah, like you thought Lightspeed's car mode looked awkward with the wide fender, and then it right angles into the door area, and then another right angle out to the wide fender. Look at Dash. He's he's like a Lego brick with some wheels put on. But yeah, I think that the Japanese stuff is you're not getting bang for your buck if you're buying it to enjoy as a toy.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't disagree. And you are a fool to think I would disagree with you.
I guess my topic would be you're not going to like this. Sorry.
I hope not. Like, everybody so far is like, no, that's totally reasonable.
Prime, the show, is not as good upon multiple rewatches.
Is this entirely because of the Beast Hunters season?
Yes, and
okay,
the movie, to me, doesn't fix as many things as it should. The first season is really well laid out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch those first, it's a 5-parter, it gets really boring and it really drags. Again, upon multiple rewatches, this is not your first time doing it, obviously. But that first 5 parts, and then from there on the season kind of just picks itself up and then it kind of dives back down. And then when you get into season 2, that pattern is showing again with we have to collect the things. And then by season 3, you're over it. You're done. You don't want to be here anymore because you know exactly how this is going to go. And then the movie is like, okay, here's another 90 minutes of shit you have to pile through again.
I will say
that's my rage bait.
I will say that there is more fluff in season 3. There's some stuff we could have done without.
You say fluff, that thing is a lemon meringue. It is all fluff. Like, it's nothing but fluff. They could have shut that shit down in 12 episodes. It could have beast machined itself.
Yeah. No, season 3, like, I guess I don't mind rewatching it. I'm also less prone to rewatching things when they're still in my recent memory as you are.
Yeah.
I do like one thing I will always credit late TF Prime for is they avoided a lot of tropes that I was worried as I was watching it. I was worried they were going to fall into, like the whole having Smokescreen, who's like the immature, rebellious young punk Autobot, setting him up to be the leader, right to the point where Optimus is like, "No, you gotta take it from here, buddy." And Smokescreen, despite being, that series' dipshit Autobot character, because every series has to have a dipshit Autobot, at least one.
Yeah.
Is like, no, I suck at this. I'm going to repair you instead.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
I
I'm not
think-
doing the leader thing.
I think also for
I'm
me,
not ready. I never will be. I don't want it.
it's sound design as well. Like, and visuals. Like, there are too many points in the show, multiple times, where they really like to redo the gag of, this is a cutoff to, a cliffhanger. And they like immediately do it with Cliffjumper, where he jumps way up in the air and then comes down and like hits the Viacons, but they cut to black.
Yeah.
Or when they jump up in the air and then it comes down and the fist hits the camera. Or at the end of some episodes, it's like the Scraplets, or not the Scraplets. There's like the Insecticon drone that looks at the camera and then charges at it, and that's how the thing ends. Or the Unicron eye looks down, like it looks all around the room, and then looks down at the camera, and it's like it's so stupid. Upon multiple times of rewatching, like that is so cliche and dumb, and also sound, like I was just saying, sound design. The amount of footsteps of the Autobots, and if it's a car guy or a truck guy, they all have the exact same sound when they walk.
Yes.
No matter how many steps they take, it's always like that weird tin can kind of.
It's literally like this.
Yeah, it's not good. And upon multiple rewatches, you're like, Jesus, They really were just like button, button,
Yeah.
button, button. All right, we're good now.
RC at least has a different sound, and so does Soundwave. But there is occasion where RC does do the.
Oh yeah, because there were times where they just were. Maybe it was short on time. Maybe they were just feeling lazy that day. I mean, there are multiple scenes where they didn't animate some guys, like Ratchet's face on some parts and stuff like
it's
that.
in the.
It's okay. It's
Uh,
going to happen, especially if you're doing that amount of work. But man,
the Orion Pax arc. There's one scene where he just doesn't have a face.
yeah, he just doesn't have a
There's
face.
no face. It's like just his mouth, his eyes, and his head crest, and everything.
Yeah.
There's just no face behind. He's like Rayman.
Yeah.
yeah. But
So, would you say that, considering all that, you would join our friend JJ Tron in the opinion that no, Beast Wars edges it out for the best Transformers series?
I think personally, I've said this for years, that I think Beast Wars is the best show still. And it's not because, and again, anybody that says, oh, well, it looks janky, the CGI,
that doesn't matter.
you're a child,
Yeah.
you're a baby, argue with the wall if you want to argue against me with this. I don't care, because Beast Wars, the story, the characters, everything that it does, not even just visually, it's way ahead of its time, and it's still good. 30 years later, it's still good. Prime, there are some things where it just irks you after multiple rewatches.
Maybe my rage
I
bait should
will
be that
argue-
the animation on Beast Wars is still acceptable.
Prime.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
my thing
some
with
people will get
Prime-
mad about that.
My thing with Prime is, I've always had the opinion, like, I love Prime.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to love. I still think your criticisms are very valid.
I'd say they're fair and
yeah, I
measured.
think
Yeah.
they're fair and measured as well. But I still enjoy it overall. I still think it's a great show.
Oh, yeah.
But I think what hinders it is the fact that it's a 3D animated show. I think that causes a lot of its problems, especially in terms of story, pacing. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they're hindered horrendously by an animation budget.
I'm going to say I don't know that it's necessarily the budget. And actually, there's something that popped into my head as you were saying that. I think that TF Prime, in a way, like Beast Wars, is protected by being a CG show because it limits the number of bullshit characters you can introduce.
That is
and
also
so you
true.
don't wind up with Transformers Season 2 where it's like, here's a new guy, here's a new guy, here's a new guy.
Yeah.
Like, even with Beast Hunters, the toy line went to, we redesigned every character from this line as a Beast Hunters design. Every last one of them. How many of those actually gets a character model in the show?
3?
Two.
Yeah.
Unicron, Megatron, and Robust Optimus Prime.
Hmm.
Everybody else in that show is one character model for the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Nobody else changes
Yeah,
character
I misheard you. I
model.
thought you meant like from the toy line doesn't
Prime,
get into Beast Hunters.
and
No,
then
Yeah,
Magnus.
but like Shockwave, yeah, the Beast
Yeah.
Hunters, even there, he never, like, he's the one that's all about picking up dragon bones.
Yep.
He never puts spikes on his shoulders and
yeah.
chest. He's just
And-
Shockwave.
and
It just took him
Magnus-
that long to get that
Magnus
It's
is
true.
still a reuse of Optimus.
But he's
for
only
the most
one
part.
character
right,
model.
Exactly.
They don't flip him halfway
Right.
through the show.
No.
And to me, that always, well, introducing a bunch of glup shittos. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the things, like, before Prime came out, I'm like, Beast Wars is good because it only has, like, a dozen characters.
Yeah.
And so they actually develop those characters instead of doing a bunch of, like, here's the new toy, here's the new toy, here's the new toy. Like, nobody cares about Baboom. Don't put him in one episode. Like,
Yeah.
Skids in G1 has 2 lines.
In
Why
one
does he have
episode.
any lines?
Yeah.
Why
doesn't
does
need
he have
anything.
any lines? You could have just put somebody else in that spot in that
Yeah,
episode.
the most important thing he does in G1 is get ran over.
Doesn't he get turned to a chair?
Yeah, and
Or the
ran
chair?
over.
Yeah.
And he says we'll stop him at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and gets ran over.
Which is kind of works with Blitzwing being the football coach, but Skids would have no way of knowing that was going on.
they may have
and
saw
so
the
Maybe he just
stadium
likes football.
from a distance.
We don't know because he only has 2 lines.
We don't know his character. Yeah.
So-
He gets
yeah.
run over.
I think the fact that they are CG, and to an extent, I've seen this with, like, even Earthspark, which we liked season 1 until
We
it fell
liked it
off
until it
all the way to
sucks.
hell in season 2.
Fucking cow.
Limits the number of characters because the startup cost for doing a CG model for a new guy is way higher than just drawing a picture of Searchlight.
And there's not a
he's on
and there's not a damn person in that show that looks similar to anyone ever. And you can you know it suffers in Earthspark because you could tell the later animation gets very jerky and stiff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not in Prime. It's still like Prime.
Well, they kept the same animation studio through the whole thing. Right. And kept the same budget through the whole thing.
And Prime has the luxury of saying, "Oh, this is Dreadwing. It's his brother. Yeah. It's Skyquake's brother," which is cool, in my opinion. And then you get Shockwave. He shows up here, and then he doesn't show up again until later on, which is also nice. Then you get Tailgate Silhouette, which is just Cliffjumper but blue.
We don't even see his. Yeah, we see a silhouette, but we don't even know what he looks like because his arms are all
And the best part
weird.
is there's still a scene where he's still red like Cliffjumper, just doesn't have horns. If you look at his lighting.
Even though I'm saying all this, I'm still going to put Prime as like the number 2 best Transformer show of all time. Animated, although I love it, I will always love it, and I personally like it more than Prime.
Here it comes.
It ends really dumb. They had so much planned, and we all know this because we've seen it. We've seen the partial scripts that they've written. We've seen all the stuff that Derek Warren Johnson or
Derek J. Wyatt.
Yeah, Derek J. Wyatt had.
Different initial order.
It's sorry, I was thinking of Skybound. We've seen what he did, and we had all that stuff now. So we knew what they were going to do, and they just were like, okay, we're done. It's over. We're getting canceled.
Yeah, and speaking of that, this weekend, they're adding to it again at TFCon with another story.
Good. Finally.
We're getting more, and this time it's Shattered Glass related, which is awesome. Honestly, kind of cool.
Yep. Here's a quick hot take. Upon rewatching, Animated irritated me with how much it leaned on nostalgia bait and
that
like
first
reference.
episode.
They're like, look at this guy in the background. Look at that guy in the background.
Yeah.
Like when I said something about, we were talking about the battle stars, and I'm like, nobody cares about Grandness. They've never done anything with him other than these 10 like manga pages in TV magazine. You were like, he's in Animated. I'm like,
yeah, and he's like a.
Don't come at me with that.
he's like a Redditor in Animated. He's so prejudiced towards flesh people.
Does he say anything
he
in
goes,
the cartoon?
Ew, he touched it!
He
just freaks out because Ratchet picks Fanzone up.
Yeah.
Well, great. He had one line. He's halfway to being G1 Skids.
He's a parade float for...
yes, because
as well as Doug Bass.
Yeah.
Down there. Yeah.
Hello, my name
Doug
is
Bass
Doug
is
Bass.
over there. By the way.
Yeah, get him.
So, what's your other hot take? Do you have another hot take?
Transformers should stop. Just stop.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Thanks for coming by. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are looking forward to hang out more this summer. I believe all of us have plans to be in Chicago.
For BotCon 26.
Yeah,
And
BotCon.
then, are you going to Orlando in the fall for TFCon 26?
Nay. I'm not.
Sorry, Orlando. You don't get his presents.
Or you.
I don't care either. Florida doesn't deserve me to be back again.
Whoa. That's fine. I agree.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.